Good morning, guys. This is Chiffon. We are the world. And I met a young man out here today, a gentleman by the name goes by
Ted.
Ted, how are you today?
Hi.
Ted, I ran into you and I see that you were living over here, and I was interested to hear your story. Can you get an audience a part of your story and how long you've been out here?
Off and on over 10 years I've been on the streets.
Speak up a little bit, cause
I was born and raised in the Poconos, a small town called Newthorpe. Great community. I had a good family. Mom and dad had been married together my whole life. My childhood was good, and everything I needed. I was really good in sports. I had a really great community, and I ended up going to the military after an attempted college. I was like I said, I was really good.
wait a minute, these trains going past
Yeah.
because you talk so, and I want them to be able to hear you because sometimes they can't hear them
Right.
when they talk. Trains
All that
going
Kensington
by.
moment of silence.
Right,
We're in Edgewise.
right. You see, guys, the train is very loud out here. Very, very loud.
Yes, but anyway, I hear of a lot of people, that they say they have a drug problem because they're running from something, or what is it? What are you hiding from? What is it? You have this deep dark secret that you do drugs. What are you trying to medicate or what it is? And I can't pinpoint that I've abused as a kid or there's nothing. And I tell these counselors that come on man, you're lying or it's nothing. It's just I was in the military for 8 years. A lot of things, divorce. I got divorced from the love of my life, one of my children. She was great. She still to this day has 20-some years in the military. She joined a year after I did. I had 8 years in the military. And long story short, I ruined that. I screwed that up. Drugs ruined that thing. Well, I ruined it. I can't blame it on anything. But the thing is, there was no real pinpoint cause that I used drugs. I used drugs, and then as it turns out, I don't use that as an excuse. I just think that these drugs are so, and the way it is so powerful. Addiction is horrible, and it's taking everything that was good in my life away.
I was asking you about when you sleep out here, does anybody bother you?
I've lived out here probably off and on 10 years in the worst, this is the only open air drug up market in the world from what I hear. Maybe now it's the second. I guess now I've heard there's another community just like this in Canada now that's kind of surpassing us. But it's an open air drug market. Every day, every 10 or 15 minutes you're hearing guns going off, people getting murdered. The cops, it seems like they're not even doing anything. I've seen people get downright assaulted, and by the time the cops are even responding or able to respond, it's just too late. It doesn't seem like they're allowed or wanting to, I don't think what do I say, but to respond to everybody's, a political problem because the DA is like a, I support his idea. I think it's a good idea. I don't think anybody should be incarcerated for anything that's non-violent. I think prisons and jails are overcrowded, and I think they're corrupt to the point. That means it's almost like they're making laws to incarcerate people to house them for agendas, just so they can make money. It's like a constant customer-based influx of customer base, and they're making laws to support it so they constantly fill the jails just to make money. It's ridiculous.
Right.
But, I don't think anybody is inhumane to incarcerate people in those people. Anyway, it's a whole other story. But the thing about it is, I just think that being out here is unsafe for anyone, man, woman, or child. To be able to, it'd be 4 o'clock in the morning, I could be, inebriated, knocked out, money hanging in my pocket, and I wouldn't have to worry about things. And to the point where I can't even walk down the street in broad daylight in certain areas just because I'm homeless. I know the children are almost being taught that it's okay to, like, if you're homeless, go out and beat up homeless people. Or,
Right.
You know, and it's just, I don't understand society's way and the generation's idea about treating people this way. It's just, it's crazy. And I don't even want to really blame it on a generational thing. I just, it's a whole general idea in the world, you know what I mean? And now with the COVID thing, some of the interpersonal relationships, no touch or no interaction, you're at a distance, and, you know, love is just not there. It's just, you know, you're numbing, you're numbing the sense.
With that being said, Ted, when you was a kid, what did you want to be?
I really wasn't sure, and I know that when I was in the military, I felt I think I was over time in many numerous failed attempts at sobriety, in and out of rehabs, you know, ex-military, so I gotta say the VA does offer vast great things. We are blessed more than the regular averages, and I think, I feel we earned it, and I feel like we should be a homeless veteran on this brief period. But first of all, I know that used to be a thing that I would be given respect for. That's been an honor, and you know, I'm grateful that I was able to serve my country and serve the United States, but you know that and the world in general. But you know, it's almost like that isn't even, you know, isn't even like respected now, and it doesn't even make a difference. Hi, Tori.
With that being said, Ted, what was the youngest person you seen out here? I know you've seen a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, there's young children. It's amazing because right across the street is a home for runaway youth. And I think actually John Bon Jovi was at the Christmas opening. I think he pays for it. The person didn't open it, donated it to the community. It was amazing. I think he has his home Runaway. But I didn't know this. I was told this. I don't know how soon.
Speak up a little bit.
I don't know for sure, but from what I was told, it came from me growing. I think he's an amazing person to do something like that. And you know, because I can only imagine being a young runaway child out here. And I've seen women and these girls. My heart was out to them. People are out here working on the streets. You know, they have everything. I mean, gruesome serial killings, dismemberment, body parts in the bag. This is real stuff. It's something you see on TV, and it's not. I mean, every day, somebody goes, I'm blown away, you know, with their courage and their strength. It's just like every day there's a constant danger. And now, with everything the way it is, it's just, I'm blown away that society can allow this. And the people that volunteer is tremendous. The services are tremendous. I gotta say, if you don't eat in Kensington, it's your own fault. Like, because they have people donating food, there's medical available, and it's the community. It's not even our government. It's the people. They're amazing. Philadelphia is great. And you know, I know that they're getting frustrated. They even got an influx of people that are not from here, or even the state of Pennsylvania. And it's crazy. Like, you know, I was interviewed before by a doctor of anthropology from, I think, Sweden, Dr. Bowen, B-O-E-N, T-U-E.
Okay.
And on YouTube, and he did an interview and study on this. Here in a time where we're at war, the longest war in history, COVID, everything else in Kensington making world recognition because of the drug.
Right.
And
right.
It's amazing to me.
Right.
I mean, blown away by it. So many more problems out there, and a lot of people blame it on society's finally getting more and more aware of addiction. And drug addiction is a disease. You know, the guy that proved that was a doctor who lost his license for prescription drugs, spent his whole entire life dedicated to prove that you can't think properly when you're communicating. There's no choice in drug addiction. But take it the first time, once you become addicted, your frontal cortex is not communicating to your midbrain properly. So when you have the need and it's calling you, even if it's just a psychological addiction, it's like your brain isn't thinking properly. You don't think about how you're gonna get that drug, just as you don't think you breathe. you breathe automatically because your body does it. You don't say breathe. Well, when you want drugs, your body tells you it wants drugs because that's the way it communicates. Until you can get sober, and your brain figures out a new pathway to figure it, and you're sober, you might have a choice again one day. But there is hope. And but that's the thing is my parents, they just didn't understand it. Like, why don't you just stop? Just stop. And it's not that simple. And I wish that people, and I get so frustrated because my parents never did drugs. I don't even think they smoked pot. You know what I mean? It's like, the baby boomers and all these people on there, they just quit, they don't get it. While they're finishing a case and a half of beer at every function, including funerals. You know what I mean? So it's just like, but it's funny because a crackhead will tell somebody at the dope fiend that, well, I smoke crack, I don't put anyone on, but yet he said, I'm not selling my kid to buy crack. You know what I mean? It's just like, they're all the same, and I mean, you're not living, we're all just, or 95% of the community's on some prescription drug. So the government's making the money and it's legal because they have the legislature, I guess, you know what I mean? But addiction and is just, it's all money making and all, once you get to that, we're just wasting beautiful lives and people, and like I said, when you take away love and all the other empathetic, things, it's just hard. My family, I have three great kids, and that are out there, or four kids that are out there, and it's just amazing that I always want to be a good father, and it's probably my number one, right? Every day I think of them, I miss them.
How do they feel with you being out here?
Obviously if they look at this, they're probably going to be embarrassed, and but at this point, two of them are old enough now, they understand. My daughter's Samantha is amazing, and she just puts herself last and tries. Two of my youngest children are just like, she puts herself as the motherly figure and tries to reason with it, but yet I don't think she understands it herself, and we don't even have a chance to communicate, and it's just, my other son, he just, got back from deployment overseas, and like I said, my ex-wife, she went active a year after, and joined a year after I did, but she's active 20 years as an E1 up, great mother, took her role, and was a mother to my other children that I didn't have with her, and she's just an amazing person and always supported me, and I don't deserve that. I don't.
Do you call home at all? Do you call them?
The last year or so I haven't. I've been so distant, and I was in a fire, something that would have never happened. I woke up at 7 days after a coma, John Doe in a physical main hospital, and Temple University. They took great care of me, saved my life. I had, a tube in every opening in my body, and nobody knew who I was. I was John Doe. And they were just so great and saved my life. And, here I was in my addiction, 3 days after getting burned, 200-some staples, third-degree burns on my arms and face. And I'm walking out in the dead of winter, sub-zero temperatures, wind chill, with no clothes and a hospital gown, bare hands, skin wrapped, and staples, laying on the ground overdosing 4 days because I am made after a fire. Because I was uncomfortable.
That's the disease.
Yeah.
So when you were in the hospital, what they gave you for?
I gotta say I was comfortable. They made me comfortable, and yet even though I was comfortable, I was complacent and still in a lot of pain. So even though they made me comfortable as best they could, I was still uncomfortable, and still it was I like I'm missing something, and that's what's just crazy about it. I have a girl who, she does prostitute out here. She's a really good person. Her mother was actually murdered on the street as a prostitute in Cincinnati, Ohio, I guess. And that's how she grew up. And she's a drug addict out here. She smokes crack, she's dope, whatever. And when I met her, pretty girl, no health issues. Next thing you know, because of whatever they're putting in the drugs, it's not even heroin anymore.
Right.
It's fentanyl.
Right.
This shit ruined the game, period. I mean, it's not even, I don't even get it. It's almost like everybody's having sores all come out all of a sudden, all over
right.
their body. you know, there's something more to that too. I don't even know what it is, but
Yeah. Are you scared of the trank that they're putting out here? I
Absolutely. I
know
don't
it's
even know
not
what-
even just trank. It's
Yeah.
all garbage. I know.
I always said that crack was constructing Hell's Kitchen to begin with, and I thought when I started, I quit crack cocaine again. Isn't that amazing? Because it was so shitty. I didn't want to smoke crack anymore. What dealer or person is going to make crack cocaine to the point where I don't even want to smoke it? Now that's something. Like to me, that's amazing. So I'm grateful for that. If they want to keep doing that, maybe somebody else will quit. But I don't know. I don't get the idea. But I found out that they're putting fentanyl in crack cocaine. So now you're, you know, psychologically addicted to cocaine or whatever, no physical dependence. But yet they're putting fentanyl in to make the physical dependence. So it's almost guaranteeing that. And then you have people that smoke crack who are allergic to fentanyl for the first time and die immediately because they smoked fentanyl and are overdose. I had another guy out there because now I think the new influx is people are stopping and shooting, you know, and a lot of people are smoking it on foil. And it's like a lot of these people are smoking it and there's fentanyl in it and they're overdosing and dying. And then you got people out here that the big thing is too, people that are not used to fentanyl and it'll do like a half a bag and it's way too much. And people are trying to get them. They'll come in from the suburbs or from out of town and you know, they want to get their money or steal their car, so they'll turn them on to it and get them to do it for the first time. They pass out or even die. And they run their pockets.
I know you've seen a lot of deaths out here.
A lot of crazy stuff. I mean, I've seen it all. And it's amazing. I mean, now, and we used to go and get high down on the tracks or in a cut somewhere. And I always, you know, out here I work for every business in the strip. I'm sure I've been everywhere.
And I want to say thank you for that. I did hear about you, a lot of good things, how you clean up the neighborhood and stuff. I heard a lot about you.
And a lot of people have been given a lot of leeway and a lot of benefit from it because I give back to the community. I feel like
Absolutely.
And I'm not one to sit and beg for money. You know, there's so many hustling ways that people every day have to make money. I'm not one to sit and ask for money. I don't think there's anybody that should put a burden on society or then I think about it's my problem, it's my problem. And I don't think I should be if I'm getting high, I shouldn't be out there showing people. Let people walking, see kids walking by, people getting high right in front of them, shooting dope, smoking crack, and nobody cares. You know, right in front of them. Even the police have to turn their head and give us, and I'm thankful to them too, because the Philadelphia police is an amazing police force. They protect us, they do, you know, and they're in hazard every day, and even they're after commercially, you're getting shot, and, you know, in communities, they don't even feel safe themselves. And they're getting put in a position, in a hot rock and a hard place, because, you know, they want to help, they want to pursue this, and, you know, a lot of them have family members themselves who are drug addicts, and take a personal, you know, interest in stopping the problem, but their hands are tied. Then, you know, and then they, you know, so, you know, they're calling a political, you know, and outlaw our police commissioner. She's trying to do an amazing job to help him, you know. So she's in there trying to go back and forth between the DA and some people and the mayor, and the mayor wants to quit because he's so frustrated, you know. And then you're asking for millions and millions of dollars from the governor and you get homeless people out here, all these condos going up that are empty and vacant, and yet we're sitting down here homeless. I'm a homeless veteran. I remember when the very first time, I think Obama was in office, and they're like, well, we'd like to announce that we're Philadelphia's the first city, you know, with no veterans on the street that are homeless. Now the street there, I'm like, really?
You mentioned to me that you'll be getting out of here soon. I want to congratulate you.
Yeah, I do have an apartment. I got a managed down the street. They have great programs here.
What's it called?
I'm not sure what my program is. I'm not sure exactly which one I fit into, but there's a shelter. Now there's more and more shelters available, which is cool, where they're a little bit more lenient. And I just would like to give my input on that. They're a little bit less demand, and where you don't have to, you know, you don't have to stay in by a certain curfew. It's a little bit less demanding. There's no, you know, kick you out if you have a dirty urine. You don't kick you out. That doesn't help nothing.
Right.
You know, I mean, I don't know about the tough love thing. That works for certain people, certain things. It doesn't work for me. It just wants to make me like not cooperate or not because like they don't understand what the problems are. And everybody thinks they know what it is, but everybody's problems individual, different, and needs are different. But across the board, I've seen every walk of life, every race, every problem, have equal opportunity to get off the street if they want to put a little effort. And they'll give you housing and get you off the street. Put a little bit of time in, build up to really rally up. I don't think any other city probably have done it as well as they've done it, the amount of people they got. So, I don't think when people look at it, Philly is getting a bad rap because, they're getting people from all over the country, all over the world, and they're handling it. You know what I mean? They're not going to have somebody, dying out here because they're starving, or, and for the most part, the community is dealing with the problem. They shouldn't even have to, So, they should just really, commit themselves. Just keep trying. I'm hopeful. I haven't had more than 15 months of sobriety in a row, in succession, but I'm hoping. I had a purpose when I was in the military, and when I was deployed twice, been to 17 different countries, 8 years in the military, and it's like I lost a purpose when I got out, and I could never regain that. I never was interested in how do you come home and after being deployed at war and to go work at McDonald's and be satisfied with that, or go to probation and parole every day and pay your back child support and can't have a driver's license because you're being suspended. You don't have a chance to.
Can you get rest with all this noise?
I've learned to sleep heavy, as much as you have to sleep with one eye open out here. Like I said, I am blessed because I'm down at Ben's and from these, the pizzeria here, he was raised by, he doesn't condone drug use at all. And it's funny, we had a personal joke, he's like, oh yeah, you're not a crack addict, you're a dope head. I said, there is a difference, but there is, and that was our joke, you know what I mean? But to him, he doesn't get it. He's from Greece, and he loves America, and he does not understand it so much. He gave up, his life, that was his livelihood. He made a life for himself and his family, and he just wanted to walk away. This place is like shut down. What, 2 places over there? I helped him rebuild it. For 2 years we were working at it, and he has a big dining room in there, and it's all set up in a beautiful place. Didn't spare no expense. And next thing you know, COVID hits. Dining, and he's so frustrated with everything out here and the crime and everything. I can't even walk out of his own home. He's getting threatened. He can't walk his steps. People are they're getting high every day, or people are the crime, and he can't even conduct business in his neighborhood. So he has 3 businesses here. He's renting out his business, and then he has another one that he operates, which is the neighborhood down here, and he couldn't be happier because it's in a different neighborhood, separate from this area, But he must have given up something he loved doing all his life, because he don't have support from, and he doesn't understand why I'm American, especially somebody like me in the military. And he's like, you had such, I don't understand, and you do it, you throw it all away.
It happen to anybody.
You don't get it.
That's right.
And here we are in America. We have all these opportunities, and that's something I gotta say to Americans too. We really don't know how good we got it here. I've been in different countries, young black female going to Bali, and being very vocal and strong for our rights, was be outspoken. And as we're leaving the quarter deck, they had to pull our sides and listen. This isn't our country, and you're safe on this ship. That's American soil. But guess what? When you step here, don't be saying this is my right, this is what it is. They'll just lock you up or whatever. Sharia law is different than our law. People don't understand that here we can voice our opinions, and we have the right to bear arms here. And,
Do you have a girlfriend?
I don't, and I think after my wife and I separated and got a divorce, I have a date here and there. I did have another long-term relationship after that, but it was somebody that I grew up with and I had connected with prior, and she had drug problems too at the time, but she's clean, so good for her. I remember one of the hardest things I did out here was we struggled off and on, and I came down here because of her. She's from Middle South Philly, and I'm from the Poconos, and I came down here because of her. I stuck down here since then, and pretty much when she went to rehab, I remember not calling her. I called her and then I stopped calling her. She was going nuts, wanting to know what I was doing out here. Somebody said the issue. just came out and found me. But next time when she went in, I was smart enough to just get away because she had a young grandson, a 1-year-old, who was there for her. And that's one thing I do want to say about the addiction part of it, and I want to be really clear on, is I think everybody has a loss. I think everybody loses something, and everybody experiences some sort of pain, and just be there for each other, be together, and support is paramount. And I almost felt like NA and AA was cold blood too, in my idea, and this is kind of bad thinking, but if I'm going to meetings and doing this, doing that all day, every day, to stay clean, that's no quality of life in my idea, you know what I mean? But yet, it is, that's still probably better, that's just my opinion. But the same token is the smart company. There's other alternatives for scientific thinking or whatever. But what I identified for myself, because when I went to rehab, I tried to attack it and really get clean. Not just recharge my battery, but I don't even hear it half the time. As you can see, I'm trying to talk through it all the time. As it turns out, in my personal story, I learned and identified, I think, what was the missing component, why I haven't gotten clean, and I owe that to my ex-girlfriend, is I noticed that the one missing factor, you always have to have a support system of some sort, whether it be the groups AA and they are great for some people, but you gotta have something to balance your time and balance. Stay busy, get a job, something. If your family and mine don't get it, don't understand it, because they were no support. They try to give me a tough love, and that don't help me get clean. Support me get clean. Even if they don't understand it, it still help. Tough love doesn't do it because they're not helping you. Now you're dealing with that stress factor, and then they're not supporting you. So that doesn't help. It hurts. And the other thing is unconditional love by somebody or something. I don't give a dog, a cat. Or in her instance, it wasn't another boyfriend relationship. You don't have to go bounce into a new relationship. But she had that little grandson of hers to be every day. Nina and Anna, go run in and hold every morning. Kept her busy, kept her focused. Something to get clean for other than herself, which is most important. And I don't have that family to do this. And then if I'm not having a supporting family to give me a love, or a dog or a cat or something like that, or anything, I think that's probably the components that are necessary to last.
Would you like to add anything to this interview before we wrap up?
Just, to my kids, I love you, miss you. Sandy, mom and dad's dead now. Love you.
We love you too. Have a good day, Ted. And I thank you, and I want to wish you well with your place. And like I told you, seek sobriety. I don't care how many times you go. Never give up. You have a chance. The program works if you work it, and I promise you that. It will work if you work it. Just take it one day at a time. Don't worry about next week or the day after. If you get that day, keep whatever you did that day, try to do it the next day. Or go to meetings, reach out, make phone calls. It works, I'm telling you. We have to inspire the youth.
There is
that we can change.
It does happen.
I wish you the best. With that being said, Shafan, we are the world.